looking back on that Sweden trip, what were some of the game takeaways that you were pulling from those last two?
I think it's just kind of trying to figure out how to play a full 60 minutes. We got on our heels a little bit in the third period in the Toronto game. And obviously we had to climb out of a hole in the Ottawa game. So just trying to figure out our process for a full 60, I think.
Newsy's talked a lot about and complimented the 5-on-5 play as of late. What have you seen from that play so far?
Yeah, I think we've been playing simple, pucks behind their D, and going to work. You know, we make it hard on ourselves sometimes when we turn pucks over, and I think simpler is better for us.
Defensively, this last stretch of games, have you guys been pleased with the overall play, or what are some areas that maybe you're looking to clean up heading into tonight after a few days off here?
Yeah, I think we've been playing pretty well. It's just, some critical errors have been costing us and, costing us points. So it's trying to stick with the same process and at the same time trying to eliminate those errors.
Sweet. Thanks, Halsey. No problem.
We're going to go 7-11 there, so maybe the 7 can protect him a little bit there.
Does that mean there's a call-up?
Nope.
Oh, I see.
Forward's going to be out tonight.
Have you made a decision on it?
Yeah, Clem's going to be out. And it's not from his play, but something I don't want to get into. One game out. He'll be back in on Friday because he's been really good for us lately.
Everybody talks about positioning at Thanksgiving and where teams are at and what it means in the long run. Given that, just the importance of tonight's game and where you guys stand.
Yeah, I don't know. I just being in the mix is good for us. Obviously, teams are getting there in different ways. Obviously, our good start got us there. I just think it's more about, I wouldn't say one game tonight, it's more about just us getting our game in order, a more complete game. Because again, even on this, I'll be careful how I use this because we've had some pretty good hockey in this mediocre stretch where we haven't been getting all the results. We've still played some pretty good hockey, but I think it's about being more complete with our game and not doing things to take away from our play.
What would some of those specifics be that you want to see to play the more complete game?
Well, you obviously weren't in Europe with us.
I know I was not.
You could have. I probably went through this 7 different press conferences.
Okay.
It's just 5. No worries. It just was more humor than anything. A 5-on-5 play was actually, we went through a 3-game stretch where we scored 11, 12 5-on-5 goals. We come out and we play an unbelievable first 7-8 minutes versus Ottawa. We take a foolish penalty. They score in the power play. We're up 2-0 on Toronto, completely in control of the game. Turnover, penalty, missed assignment. All of a sudden we find ourselves down. So it's just more complete games. We're not good enough. We don't have that 120-point score, that special playmaker to bail us out of the situation. It needs to be a complete team game. And I think there's another opportunity tonight to try to get there.
With Alex Lyon, we've been talking about it all year, just wanting to get him in, not getting that chance. He gets in Sweden, and you obviously really like what you saw. And I know you said you normally watch the game back, right? Was there anything else that you noticed that impressed you about his game?
Just the confidence he gave us, and again, James Reimer and Ville Husso have given us a lot this year. And I know our overall goalie numbers are towards the bottom of the league, if not the bottom of the league. But Ville Husso's 6-3-1. That's 7 points in 10 games. James Reimer's 2-2-2. That's not a fast math guy, but that's 4 games in which he had points of 6. And that's why we're kind of hanging in this battle here. But with that said, both those guys have been culprits of some really soft goals. And again, I talk about us not being good enough to not play a full 60 in a game and not do things, whether it's a bad penalty, whether it's a bad turnover, if it's a missed assignment, good enough to be successful. With our team game, we're not good enough to be successful with soft goals. It can be demoralizing. And I think what Alex gave us the other day was just a strong performance where Toronto had to earn all 3 of their goals, and we want to continue to get that, and hopefully we'll get that from him tonight.
What have you noticed out of Joe Milano that has helped him elevate his game?
Pace, he's skating, he's got some confidence about himself. I think with the 7-11 tonight, we'll see some different looks where he'll be both center and wing, and I think he's playing right now simple, predictable, with some pace that I think he can drive some lines and help whoever he's skating with. So I think you'll see him throughout the lineup.
Have you decided on a backup goalie for tonight?
It'll be Billy. Part of Billy. Obviously hasn't been in our process for a while here. Just get him back in our process.
Just to clarify, Clint, does that mean that there was like a team rules
Yes, I'm not going to bring it up anymore. It's over. Clint's been a huge part of our process. It was a minor situation. It was not malicious by any means, but it's us still trying to get to a certain standard in our approach.
New Jersey comes in tonight with the top power play in the league. What needs to go well on the penalty kill to shut that down?
Details, face-offs. Our face-off percentage on penalty kill is extremely low. It puts a lot of burden on you. Clears, just good routes in anything we do. Because special teams been a huge momentum. You were asking the question of a complete game. We find a way to only get 1 point in in Sweden, and we lost both special teams games 1-0, and that was literally the difference between 1 point and potentially 4 points. So anytime we get that kill, it's a huge momentum opportunity for us.
You mentioned penalties when you reflected on Sweden. How much of that is part of your message going forward about the penalties you're taking and how much they're hurting?
Yeah, big. And again, there's no doubt in my mind that Ottawa start flipped from that bad penalty we took, and obviously we put the Toronto Maple Leafs on the power play 7 minutes left with a late penalty, and all of a sudden we're in a 2-2 hockey game. So timing, but also just being disciplined. Again, I don't know if we are good enough to outscore bad penalties and mistakes.
Busy with Billy having his first child. It's obviously Thanksgiving time. You reflect on how important family is at this point in time. Just how thankful you are for your family, how instrumental they are throughout
Awesome.
the year.
Yes.
Talk about that a bit.
Obviously, there's more important things than hockey. It's always about family. It's a big part of who you are. Still curious if Philly's has daughter in sauna yet. That was a big question around the locker room. He says no. I don't believe him. Of course, like that's you're thankful for everything. It was my first year. Not to get too personal. My family's here, which has been unbelievable for me. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.